Final sprint is going on. How many months do you have before the end of the year? About 2 months, right? Plus minus around 2 months. So while you're going to be pushing hard in this next 2 months, what's going to happen? Your activity is going to increase, right? Your activity will have to increase, because if your activity doesn't increase, you probably won't hit your goals if you are still far away. If you're at the halfway mark, right? You've got 2 months. If you've done what you've always done, your results will also be what it's always been. So if you want your results to improve, your activity will have to increase. So some of you are going to be out there, you're going to be pushing hard, your activity is going to increase. Sales is a game of numbers, all right? We must all understand this. Sales is a game of numbers. Do you know what the global closing rate for sales is, regardless of product, service, or industry? HubSpot did a survey for 2024, right, for people in sales. The global closing rate for sales is 29%, right? For a product that is an average about $4,000, right? So obviously, the higher the price is, the lower the closing rate becomes. The higher the ticket is, the lower the closing rate becomes, because people need more convincing for high-ticket items. And of course, the cheaper the product is, the easier it is to close, because people don't really have to think that much. But on average, if it's about $4,000, right, the global closing rate is 29%. What that means is 7 out of 10 people you present to will say no to you. Rejections is part and parcel of the sales game. And in all my years, right, of not only being in sales, coaching people in sales, working with organizations who do a lot of sales, speaking to sales professionals, I have yet to come across a sales professional who's got a one-to-one track record, 100% closing rate, where each and every person they meet and present to, that prospect says yes. I've yet to come across. And I don't think there's such a person, because even the best salesperson still has to go through rejections. Okay, so rejections is part and parcel of the sales process. So the global closing rate is 29%, which means 7 out of 10 people are going to say no to you. But that also means 3 out of 10 is going to say yes, right? On top of that, the same survey showed that 60% of customers will say no to you at least 4 times, right? Again, because this is a product that is about $4,000, right? That's the survey that was done. The higher the ticket, you'll probably receive more no's from that same person, because they need more convincing. The convincer rate goes up. Each and every one of us have a convincer rate, by the way, right? We need to be convinced X number of times before we commit to buying something, right? So 60% of the time, customers will say no at least 4 times before saying yes. 80% of sales professional only follow up. 80% of successful sales happen only on the 5th attempt onwards. All right, so just a little bit of numbers, food for thought. Okay, this is not numbers for the insurance industry. I don't know what it is for specifically in the insurance industry, but globally, 80% of the time requires at least 5 approaches before the prospect says yes. The problem is 48% of people in sales do not follow up. They receive the rejection and they move on very fast. Either they move on or they feel rejected, they feel dejected, they don't want to follow up. Okay? 44%, right, follow up only once. Okay, so just some food for thought. So, year end, activity is going to increase. Yes, when activity increases, that means you're going to be out, you're going to be meeting more people, you're going to be doing more presentations. What's going to increase with your activity is rejections. It's part and parcel. It's going to happen. And if you're fearing that rejection is going to come your way, please do not fear rejection, because it's going to come. Right? So when activity increases, rejection will increase. The problem is, the moment rejection increases, what's going to happen is it's going to take us out of our comfort zone, our safe zone. Each and every one of us have a safe zone, right? There's a zone of tolerance that we have. That means, okay, maybe we are comfortable with receiving 3 rejections a day. Right? Anything more than 3 is going to take us out of our comfort zone. right? For some, it may be 2, some may be 1, some may be 3 rejections a week. That's all I can tolerate. More than that, I give up. Okay? But when your activity increases, what's going to happen? Rejections is going to increase. Rejections increase. It's going to take you out of your safe zone. It's going to take you out of your comfort zone. The moment you are out of your comfort zone and you no longer feel safe, unconsciously, your activity is going to decrease. Because the activity will decrease and it will pull you back to the safe zone where you feel comfortable. And that is the reason why a lot of advisors during the final sprint are very motivated in the beginning. But then when you head out again, and then when rejection slowly hit, the demotivation will start kicking in. The motivation will taper down, activity may increase again. Right? And this is the awareness that we need to have. So in my time here,